Hello and welcome. Does the narcissist make a good dad? Hi, I'm Grace Rolson. I'm an author, narcissistic abuse recovery expert. I'm a coach. I'm a mom survivor. And so many moms are trying to force the narcissist to step up and be the dad they want for their child. However, the question is, does the narcissist make a good dad? We have to get real, get down to the bottom of things, really work with reality, not our hopes and dreams and wishes. So many moms are trying to make the narcissist show up in the child's life. And I'm here to tell you, after a 12-year family court battle and raising a child with a narcissist for 15 years, that may not be a good idea. So if you are dealing with a narcissist who's a personality disordered person, please listen to this whole presentation. It's something that you may need to think about. Just a quick disclaimer, I am not a psychologist. I do have a video called Know the Narcissist, so it's really important that you know who and what you're dealing with. My disclaimer is this isn't direct advice. It's not legal advice. It's not therapy advice. I'm not any licensed professional other than a certified coach and a strategist. So this is shared survivor wisdom. Take what's helpful, leave the rest. I'm here to encourage, empower, and educate women and mothers. My background is loving and leaving an alcoholic. I have 3 books for women who are trying to break free of codependency. And then I have 6 books for moms who have to break trauma bonds, raise a child with a narcissistic ex, be in a family court battle with a narcissist. I say learn all you can because knowledge is power. If I would have known these things, so many of my editors that help me, I always hire moms to help read and edit these books. They say, I wish I had this wisdom when I was going through it. I wouldn't have made so many mistakes. And that's why I wrote them. So here they are, all the way from co-parenting with a narcissist, 7 stealth rules to stay sane, to wisdom for ending the co-parenting war in a custody battle with a narcissist. I say read them in order, 1 through 6. Bring your highlighters, take notes, because the mindset shift in us can make things better. It's not just the mess of my story. There's tips, tools, and strategies in all of my books. I did this to be helpful and raise awareness. And hopefully, when I help the mom who's struggling in this situation, it helps the children. So I had an eye-opening experience a while back where my teenage daughter expressed to me all the types of abuse she endured with her dad on unsupervised parenting time. So even though he shows up looking good, says all the right things, if your child is afraid of their father, that could be a sign and a key. So our child was talking to her therapist, saying how she's afraid of her dad and explaining all the different things that would happen to her if she went against her dad, stood up to her dad for anything and any reason. So she learned to cope and survive with her own strategies because I had put as many buffers and boundaries and firewalls and protections and limited time and supervised visits and then supervised transfers. I had done everything I could with the family court. And then family court, while we got some protections, it then failed us because family court can only do so much. And emotional abuse is very hard to prove. You can't really see those scars and bruises, but obviously us moms, caring, loving empaths can see that. So I teach Skillful-Means now so that children get less abused. It's like if you tick off and you poke or punch or prod the beast, they roar. And if we're not there to be narcissistically abused, guess what? It's just logic and common sense. The bottom line is children often, generally, and typically get narcissistically abused too. And we are not always there to see it. If this narcissist has unsupervised parenting time, they have control over the child and they will do things to assert control over the child and dominance. So the child is obedient, compliant, and like a servant. So Just know that that could be happening in your case. And if your child's afraid, that is a key. I always ask moms, does your child have a neutral therapist where they can express their fear and say the truth and understand that they are just trying to survive in a toxic, hostile, abusive situation? Um, because that truth can help them not take all of it out on themselves or turn into bad behaviors. So, children are afraid of their dad because they're afraid of being abused, just like we tend to be afraid of the narcissist because we've seen them do things, say things, lie, things that are just not safe, and end up with a lot of financial or other consequences. So, this is just eye opening because so many moms are like, I want him to step up and take the child. You really want an abusive, toxic parent who's personality disordered? Narcissism is a personality disorder. They're lacking in empathy. What do young, vulnerable children need? Let this be a wake up call. They need someone that isn't selfish, that is other focused, that can understand their needs and prioritize someone else's needs over their own. So, if you're a loving, caring mom and you want to protect your child, then you wouldn't be putting them with an abusive person or pushing an abusive person to take parenting time and be a dad that they cannot be. So I often tell women who are trying to get a healthy relationship from a unhealthy man, such as an active alcoholic, that you can't get a healthy relationship from an unhealthy man. The same principle applies here. You can't get a healthy parent, father figure from an unhealthy parent, non-father figure. So the idea of dad and father in our minds, our wishes, our hopes, our desires may not match reality. And those are some of the solutions that I will talk about. So think about it. Why are you pushing for the narcissist to step up and be a dad? If they're toxic, if they're abusive, if they undermine you, if they're brainwashing the child, if they're just a bad influence on the child, think about what you're trying to get and if it's even reasonable, possible, logical, or if it makes any sense at all. You may just have to accept reality that they can't, they won't. And if you push, you're pushing your child into a bad situation. If the narcissist is an absent parent and it makes you upset and angry and you feel like you're dealing with an injustice, please go watch that video about 10 ways to cope with unfairness and injustice. So the mature mom will step up and realize there is a healthy male father figure the child needs, and will find some surrogates, some substitutes, and will supplement in like coaches and music teachers and a male therapist instead of trying to make a male be something he cannot be. So I have always thought about limiting the time that my child spends for her mental health and well being, providing a safe place where she can come and land and not be assaulted or controlled. So I give her my house, which is a respite from having to hold it all together when she's on her dad's time. And she was able to articulate what was happening. So at 5 and 6 years old, when supervised time ended, and she had to do more time at 7 and 8, she was subjected to more abuse. And the abuse wasn't like visible scars. So she spent some time telling her therapist and me what she endured when we said, why don't you just tell him you don't want to go to that college or whatever? And she was afraid. And children are afraid of their narcissistic dad because they're afraid to be abused. And there's a lot that goes into narcissistic abuse that is traumatizing for kids. And I have a list here. One of them, emotional abuse, being criticized for mistakes. 2, gaslighting, constant invalidation of that child or their feelings or their perceptions. 3, control, coercive control, and children being dictated to, like they're under a dictatorship. 4, pressuring and bullying to pick a side or pick a parent. 5, psychological abuse, being blamed for things that, aren't their fault, isn't their fault. 6, financial abuse, going without things or being bribed with toys and things. 7, mental abuse, being turned against their loving mom, being turned against family, friends, anything on the maternal side that the narcissist feels like is a threat to them. 8, punished unfairly. We've seen a lot of children get punished unfairly with grounding and more. 9, being threatened. 10, being ignored and neglected. Now, I've got like 10 more. These are the things my daughter explained to me and her therapist that she endured in the parenting time with her father. Although they said she was having a great time, and all I ever heard was positive things. Number 11, not prioritized. Dad's stuff always comes first. 12, made to do adult things with their dad. Activities, chores, errands. 13, invasion of privacy or no privacy at all. No door handles, doors taken off of bedrooms, that sort of thing. We endured that. 14, strictly monitored and questioned and tracked. What'd you do on your mom's time? Stuff like that. 15, forced to feel certain ways like guilty or happy. A child had to just be happy all the time with her dad. Couldn't have a negative feeling. 16, enduring sarcastic, cutting remarks. So the negative narcissist negativity spills over on these children, generally speaking. 17, subjected to name calling. Children get name called and bullied and pressured by the narcissist. 18, made to feel like a servant or a slave, be obedient and work for them, clean for them, do things for them. 19, no choices and no say, forced to accept whatever her dad decides. 20, held to perfectionistic, idealistic, and possibly high standards and expectations. And you'll hear that the narcissist does that, and that can be really hard on children. 21, they could be hit, patted, tapped, touched, rubbed, or hugged inappropriately, and they have to endure it. 22, assumes they know what the kid wants, likes, or needs. Just assuming, projecting, and dictating. 23, not allowed to cry or have their own thoughts, feelings, or emotions. 24, told how to feel and what to think passive aggressively. And this is with politics and other things. Children can just get that dumped on them. 25, taken hostage as punishment rather than the narcissist doing parenting time. Taken hostage as punishment from family members that the narcissist is mad at, like their own mom or dad or sisters. The narcissist, if it's their kid, they'll just take the kid and withhold it from their own family. 26, getting yelled at. I heard once that yelling is like a different form of hitting. My child's very afraid of getting yelled at. 27, and there's other non-empathetic, cold things that children endure, including seeing animals, other children abused and neglected in the home. So I'll do a little question stop. Those are the ones me and my team came up with, just so that you have insight in what your young children who can't articulate this kind of abuse and what's happening yet. She did get stronger from it. She did get traumatized from it. She is healing from it. She is trying to come out stronger than before, like me. And so does your child have a safe, neutral therapist where she can express this is the truth? So I installed a healthy male therapist using a judge who's neutral. So the therapist is keeping the neutral set of eyes on all of these things. And I can't prevent and stop a lot of this with CPS. We've called multiple times for all kinds of things, physical things, and CPS isn't equipped to stop the things that I just listed. And all of my CPS reports went against me at a 5-day family court trial, painting me as a micromanaging mom. So here's a key that I found helpful to limiting the amount of nastiness with her dad. It's called the use of skillful means. and it's in a few of my books because I didn't realize that me fighting her dad came out on her unsupervised time with her dad. And when I realized this, I changed the way I co-parented for her. So what are some of the solutions so that we don't make it worse for our child on their unsupervised parenting time with a narcissist? And my daughter said he could do this unsupervised time. Some of this very covertly, subvertly, passive aggressively, with right on the edge, playing right in that gray area of what's going to be called out by an observer and what won't be. So, what are some sustainable solutions? Well, first, don't rely on the narcissist to be something they cannot be. If they have shown who they are time and time again, selfish, they've got new girls, they got new toys, they're going on vacations, it's all about their stuff, their image, their assets. Why are you pushing a vulnerable child into that position? Trying to make it fair for you. You're trying to give the child a dad that they could be abused from, a dad that you wish they could have but isn't who he is. So face the facts, and maybe you just have to accept that's who their father is, and look at yourself. Are you angry about that with yourself? Have you grieved that? Have you grieved the loss that your child can't have the father you wish and want? And then you have to stay in reality and keep those reminders. I wouldn't be trying to get a father who's ghosted the child, who's doing drugs or has a DV record or a criminal record on a child, if that narcissist has left that child behind. That's me. And moms who post and want to find the dad and hold them accountable and get child support, when we push their money button, they often push our custody button, and they want control of the child. They don't just want to be a great dad or wake up. Our job is not to wake another person up. And we can't wake somebody up who's fundamentally lacking in empathy and self-focused. So you may want to get support in strategy sessions, or get yourself into a recovery program like CODA, or if they're an alcoholic, into Al-Anon. Those are 12-step recovery programs that are free and online and by phone and in person. And I did those for over 26 years just so I could stay with working with wisdom. So knowledge is power, and we have to face the facts. And we often need other people to just help hear our story and the pain, so that we cut that pain in half, that our children don't have the father we would like for them. I can't tell you how many times my child would say how much they loved a sports coach, and then would say, I wish he was my dad. And boy, do I wish some of those guys were their dad. What a great life they would have had on the other side. But I got to stay on my side of the street, which is provide the best life I can on my mom's time. So I teach certain strategies called Skillful-Means, castle and curtain, non-resistance, non-attachment, customer service skills. All of that helps the situation not to be so hostile, because when the narcissist couldn't abuse me and get to me because we had a co-parenting app, we had supervised transfer child exchanges, so we never saw each other. When he couldn't get to me, he was abusing her. And that was so heartbreaking for me. And I have to always say, this thing I would tell you is, you're doing the best you can with what you've got, with what you know. And I hope this increases some of your awareness. Come to my blog, read some more of this. Knowledge is power. We now co-parent and have peace. Has some of the abuse subsided? Yes. Has our whole situation become better, and it's better for the child? Yes. I have a podcast over on Spotify, Navigate Around the Narcissist. I have a Navigate Around and Neutralize the Narcissist free Substack newsletter. I say learn, heal, and grow through this. Keep being a great mom. Remember to like and subscribe. If you don't want to be abused, you may have to think about limiting communication with a narcissist. Go find that video. All my videos on my YouTube channel are free. And if you're going to family court with a narcissist, I teach about not being the target of blame. I have a Get the Right Lawyer guide. This is important, with a 20-question attorney interview worksheet included. And I talk about avoiding being the narcissist opponent, which is why I don't recommend pro se. And there's 5 reasons to get, I've got 11 reasons to get a lawyer and legal guidance. I have a great video about positioning yourself for successful negotiations. I wondered for 10 years or 12 years, why couldn't we negotiate? Well, it was because I was the enemy. He wasn't going to capitulate or negotiate unless it was a win-win-win for him. And I had to stop being the person holding him accountable in family court. It had to come from something, someone other than me. And I talk and teach about that. So thank you so much for listening and watching. I hope this gives you something to think about and betters your situation for you and your child. Keep learning, healing, and growing. Outgrow that narcissist.